right, guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the driveway, and let's welcome into the fleet the new service truck. Now, if you guys weren't aware, we had some issues with the Kenworth, so we had to basically put that whole idea pretty much on hold, and I needed to go ahead and get into another truck. Obviously, couldn't stop work. So we picked up this 2023 F350 with a 9-foot Redding body on it for the time being. Now, this truck was a foreman truck, so essentially one of our job site foremans would ride around in here, had enough fluids and some tools to do some basic things on a job site. But we had to transition this unit right here into a day-to-day field service truck. So let's get into the cabinets, let's get into the truck, and let's show you what we got going on. All right, guys, as I previously mentioned, F350 XL trim. Inside here, boys, full display right there, infotainment system, and we also have a laptop mount now. So when we're using Service Advisor, we already have that ready to rock and roll. Full-size center console for the business aspect of things. So around the passenger side, boys, you see right there, we've got a 400-watt old Hobo Freight power inverter. And that's what's basically charging our laptop here. And we've got a 12 and 24-volt jump box, 12-volt jump box from Snap-on, as well as all of our DeWalt chargers and what have you. I'll be honest with you guys, having a 4-door box makes my life a hell of a lot easier, where the next portion of this gets kind of crazy. All right, so staying with the passenger side, this is where we're going to get crazy, boys. All right, so all my scanners and all my troubleshooting diagnostic tools. So CAT ET, Service Advisor, a few Ansell scanners, Foxwell, a Top Don for doing the trucks, another Ansell scanner here. Below that, we've got ourselves our Deutz crimper kit, as well as we also have a Porta-Power. We've got our thermal imager in here, as well as another truck scanner from Ansell. Love their scanners, guys. If you haven't checked those out, pick them up. They've got some great ones out there if you are in the HD field. We've got a 3/4-inch torque wrench just in case. The old hard hat just for the times where a safety man shows up. And under the seat here, this is where I kind of keep a lot of, let's say, the essential items, the smart tools. You know, you got your big old sledge, big pry bar, the old big cat air blower. That's one of my 1/2-inch torque wrenches right there. All right, we're going to go back over to the driver's side here. And guys, this is where we're kind of going to get a little bit stacked pile full of stuff here. So this right here is basically what used to be my electrical cabinet. Well, we kind of all condensed it down into a pretty much duffel bag. So for your small in-cab stuff, I got the old Coke and 1/4-inch set. I absolutely love this kit right here. We've got one, and I believe we've got another multimeter right here. And obviously, most needed things, you got your heat shrink, got your dielectric grease. It's a must-have. Test leads, you got to have them, boys. And I keep these units right here in stock on the truck at all times, and those are back probe spoons. And for the dreaded butt connectors, boys, we've got the old Snap-on setup here. I've had these forever, absolutely love them. And for wire strippers, these units right here come in clutch. Again, had these for like 10 or 15 years. Now, again, you're not always going to be working with somebody, so it's always good to have one of these. Essentially what it is a push button. You can jump across the starter. You don't need to use a screwdriver or pry bar, boys. Use the button to excite the solenoid and get that starter to see if you can actually, obviously, get the engine to crank over. So I absolutely love that. Their recent Hobo Freight pickup, which is a little micro torch, which does great for heat shrink. And as much as I hate these, every once in a while, quick, fast, down and dirty repair, you do need to use these. So gotta have them, boys. Now, some things I did take out of the K-Whopper, which are from the side cabinets, all my amp seal and Deutz connectors, pins, excessive wire, and some extra parts for the 410s, Hitachis, the Deeres, stuff like that. And you'll see as we go through the truck here, I do kind of have them all over the place. But as you guys can see there, this is where I keep most of my electrical components that I need to fix, wire repairs and what have you. Boom, all through these little boxes. All right, so obviously for welding, well, we were kind of out of space on this truck, to be honest with you. I was going to think about putting the Bobcat on here, but we had other options we had to go ahead and exhaust. So we got this unit from Old Yes Welder. It's Flux 135 Pro. You can run flux core welding through it as well as stick welding. Now, 1/8" rod is pretty much what I run through it. 60-13. I have tried to do some 70-18 on it, and it's just not got the ass behind it to really burn 70-18 rod. Aside from that, it's a solid welder, but you got to have some slickmans, boys. Doesn't matter how bad of a welder you are, you got to have slickmans. And just a little follow-up on the welding deal here. Art Captain puts out this really solid helmet right here. I do like it. And just happen to have a little spot for it right here in the cab to hang it. Real convenient. Like I said, the cab's kind of crazy, but I can work out of it. All right, so now we're going to get into the body aspect of this truck, which is where all the fun stuff happens. Now, this is not all my tools, obviously. This is about 3/4 of what I could actually fit in this unit to basically do about 90% of the work that I do in a day-to-day. So up top, up here, we have just your basic essentials, you know, your hand cleaning stuff, wipes, and of course you got to have some rags, right? So we've got screwdrivers, we've got pry bars, this nice little kit that I picked up from Old Hobo Freight, the old Icon pick set, boys. This unit right here, I do like this. It's a really solid pick set, very comparable to the Snap-on units. Keep a few pry bars, various sizes. This is kind of like the compact ones we keep on here. And I like to have a boatload of magnets on stock. The extendable ones where I can get into all those tight places. That one right there I just picked up. It's a Lyle unit. You can actually use that. It's got a little swivel action to it, as you've seen right here. Boom. You can swivel to where you want to. That is handy. That is very handy. Coming down here, we got our smart tools here. So, you know, the smart tools. On top of that, nice little Hobo Freight chisel set right here. Solid. For the cost, like $30, you get all those chisels in that kit. I love dead blow hammers. Dead blow hammers are awesome. My from old school Albin cat days, boom. Even the big red ones. That one I really do like as well. So to finish off this cabinet right here, right on the side door here, we've got a 8 to 19 millimeter metric set here, magnetic, quick, fast go kind of thing. If I need something going over to a machine, no big deal. I've got standard and I've got metric, various sizes there, and below that are my jumbo wrenches. You've got to have, if you're working the field, working the shop, doesn't matter, you have to have these units right here. These pads, this is one from OTC. This is a solid little kneeling pad. It does come in handy. You got to protect your back. You got to protect your body, boys. Without that, you ain't making no money. All right, so the next cabinet here is kind of all over the place. So it's got a mixture of the top shelf here being mostly consumables, parts, some extraction for doing samples and what have you. You have to have these units right here. I do a boatload of PMs, you guys probably seen. And having at least 1 or 2 of those on the truck is very critical. Brake clean. And of course, you have to have all your lubricants. These are a must in this world. I love the Hot Shots Never Rust as well as the old Crow. Love that stuff. All right, so to go over the socket situation here, because we're kind of all over the place, I couldn't bring everything, and this was the only cabinet that could kind of flow into the rest of the truck the way we're kind of designing it. So I love these units from Old Mueller Keps. They're a shallow 1/2 inch set here, all metric. This goes from like 8 to 24, solid kit. Right in the back there, you've got your deep and your shallow Atlas set. I absolutely love that unit right there. All right, so these right here are my Snap-on Allen set. This is metric and standard. Your larger Allens going all the way down to like 8 mil. Very solid set. Have beat the living shit out of these, and they just keep going. Now, I recently broke my Snap-on breaker bar, so I've got these 2 units right here. One's a Craftsman unit, and the other one's an Icon unit. Don't hate this one. This one's actually pretty solid. Does the work. And if this won't get it, I've got another unit that I can use, nice little 3/4 action. But for the price of those two, can't beat it. All right, so these 2 3/8 kits right here, these are just literally quick grab and go if I'm going into a cab of a machine or something like that. These little 3/8 units, metric and standard, they work fine, and they do come with a ratchet, so it already does make my life a little bit easier. But inside there, we've got 2 different 1/4 inch sets, metric, standard, obviously, variance length, Allens, as well as Torx, E-Torx, swivels, the whole 9 there, boys. That's everything. And a few, obviously, odds and ends. We do have a boatload of ratchets in there, extensions, everything I could pretty much fit in this little area right here. I'm doing everything I can to make some organization happen here, boys. All right, going into this cabinet right here, this one is by far one of the most out of the norm situations here. So I took an old pliers rack that I had that I wasn't using in any of the service trucks. I cut it into 3 sections here. So this section right here, measured this gap out right here, cut it, and then now I've got all my pliers, variant sizes, all the way down to your hog ring style, snap ring style pliers, just your straights, your angles, everything that you could possibly need. And then on this side right here is where I use all my band wrenches for oil filters, strap wrenches, all that stuff. And right in the back there, you guys see it. We've got some welding magnets as well. We've got a couple of oil pans in here, and right in the back corner there, we have our oil catches. If you guys haven't seen these units before, they're a Canadian-based company. Basically how it works is you wrap this around the oil filter, take the oil filter off, fuel filter, whatever, and the oil gets caught in there with the filter. Makes your life a hell of a lot easier. Less mess, less stress, boys. Check them out, oil catch. Aside from that, we do have a couple of oil pans in here. We got funnels. We got a small transmission funnel here, as well as a fluid extractor that I use for doing injectors. Keep all that right there on the door. Makes my life a hell of a lot easier. This unit right here, we got ourselves a little 6.5 inch V-Vor vise. You need a vise on a truck, and every once in a while, it's a need. It's a tool that you're going to need from time to time. Picked this unit up real cheap, and it mounted perfectly on the bumper, and it's actually pretty solid. It will do some basic stuff, but you're not putting a cylinder or anything massive on here. So now on to the back of the truck. So what we got going on back here? We've got a John Deere compressor. That's 230 or 115 volt little generator built onto that compressor. Ramp that thing up to 150 PSI. It's a solid 20-gallon tank on there. I do have a 65-foot 3/8 hose reel built into it that I got all plumbed up to it. It's a V-Vor hose reel. Also, I've got connected to that is a 50-foot extension cord reel that I need from running my welder, what have you. I can hook it to that, or I can hook it right to the compressor generator itself. Contacted my local welding shop, and I was looking for torch bottles, and these were the 2 smallest ones I could find. So I got brackets for it, and I've got a 50-foot torch reel. Again, it's another V-Vor unit. I love their products. They're solid, they're cheap, and if it's something you're going to put on the truck that's going to get beat the hell out of every day, you got to look at quality, also the cost. Put some quick disconnects on here for my torch head, and let me tell you something, it's made my life a hell of a lot easier. All I got to do is put the regulators on, and we're torching, boys. All right, so we're making our rounds here, boys. So right in this cabinet right here, I keep mostly sockets that I couldn't fit in the one socket side that I had over there, wrenches, stuff that's actually already in a box and ready to go. We got ourselves a V-Vor 3/8 pneumatic kit. That pretty much, you can pretty much put that to a machine, and if you're disassembling it, that works really well. Here's my Sun X 3/4 set. Absolutely love this. It's a standard. Keep that with you. If you're doing track work and what have you, boom, you already got it. 1/2 inch drive. We'll set here metric and standard, deep and shallow. These kits right here, again, you got to have them ready to rock and roll. When you go down to a machine, it might be down. This is a ratcheting wrench kit that I have. This is metric and standard. It goes up to 19 millimeter on the metric side. Really solid kit. Actually, for a ratchet wrench set that's really cheap, You can throw these right in your hands, put it right back in the truck, slam it around. It'll do the job for y'all. Now this kit I have absolutely had forever. Again, it's another Hobo Freight purchase. And this whole thing's going to fall right out, which is these standard service wrenches. I love these things. They're short, they're stubby. You could put them on a wrench extender, get a little bit of extra leverage out of them. But if you can't afford the 4-way wrenches, like it's been said previously, these are the best alternative. I'm telling you guys, like 40 bucks, get a coupon, get the damn discount card, buy you some of these. I'm telling you, you're going to love them. All right, so lastly on this side here, got a metric big unit tap and die kit here for like 40 bucks, well worth your money. If you didn't know already, if you're a local John Deere dealer, you can pick up these here service wipes. Well, what are they good for? Well, they fit perfectly for your 4.5-inch flap discs and cutting wheels and what have you. Boom, pop them right in there, and you have great storage. I absolutely love these. On top of that, sample bottles. Like I said, we do a lot of services on our deers and cats. Got to have sample bottles. And this is the master system, cooling system checker, pressure tester, the whole 9, as well as a pressure bleeder. Good solid kit there. Again, common theme here, boys. Got a lot of Evor products, Hobo Freight, a lot of the cheaper stuff. Just so if it breaks, I'm not crying about it. It's something quick, fast, in a hurry. I can get in another day or two and replace if in turn something breaks. Now for one of my favorite cabinets, which is basically electric tools and pneumatic tools. So for the most part, I bleed yellow like a lot of guys do. So we've got Mac 1/2-inch gun, a lot of DeWalt power stuff. Again, Mac, DeWalt, all kind of the same house there. And I've got it 3/8, 1/2-inch, impact. You got to have batteries because, boys, these units kill batteries. I'm going to be honest with you. DeWalt, they run through batteries like crazy, especially if you're running a grinder. The old DeWalt grinder, let me tell you, that absolutely kills batteries quicker than just about anything else. DeWalt drill, the old fucking wrist snapper here, boys. This one, I love this drill. I've had it in the DeWalt version as well as the Mac version, both of which solid drills. And you get caught, you're going to feel it. I have some machinist drill bits. I absolutely love these units. Got these from the welding shop. And these right here, I can't kill them, can't break them. Even the small units, they hold up really well. Finish off this side of the cabinet. Got my big Aircat 3/4 gun. Love this gun right here, boys. For the cost, the size, and it actually takes a lot less air than a Snap-on or a equivalent size 3/4 gun. So if you're running a smaller airline or a compressor like mine, it does come in handy. Got this Mac 1/2-inch gun. I've had this for years since I first started a cat, and can't kill it. I've got a Mac or a Snap-on MG gun that I've had for decades, it feels like. This one right here is nice size, compact, kind of a stubby, works great. And speaking of stubby, actually, I do have a stubby little 1/2-inch gun as well. It's a proto gun. Had this for a while, just don't get a lot of uses for it now that we've kind of switched away from air, going to electric. Air hammer, I got a little cheap Craftsman air hammer, and also I've got a Husky one in there. Both of these style air hammers I've been able to get away with. Somehow, some way, it works out fine. And aside from breaking these, I've never really had a whole lot of problems with them. You got your little die grinders. There's an Ingersoll one here, and then a knockoff Ingersoll cut wheel. Again, these 2 units I've had forever. Going further through here, we've got our Cat long neck little angle grinder. I use these usually for bores, for pins, and what have you. Clean them up with these little flap discs. Works really well. I absolutely love this unit right here. Now, as a contractor, you're going to fill up a lot of tires. So what I would recommend to anybody, get a good solid tire inflator. And then also make yourself up one of these rigs right here with a little air chuck. You can latch it right on the tire stem. Boom, fill your tires up. I love that setup. Lastly, on the pneumatic side of things, that's right, boys, the old Tecmo HD edition big chooch. This unit right here, boys, I'm absolutely super excited about. I love this damn thing. Need more bits, but I cut down one of them for the correct length that I needed when I was doing pins on a 850. That unit right there saved my ass. And then obviously on standby, I already have the same one, but obviously the full length unit. Now, I've tried my best over the last few years to really get better with tool organization, and then obviously I swap into a different truck and it goes apeshit crazy. So another one of those side bins that I had for the K-Whopper, well, I turned it into more consumables, flap discs, 3M discs, some of my welding stuff, little chisel hammer there, torch tips. I keep a bunch of these on hand because obviously torching just comes a part of the job. This is a nice carbide set from Snap-on. Bought it from the cat dealer. Hell of a lot cheaper that way. It comes with a 5-piece set, and obviously we got 2 that found their way into a belly pan somewhere. Aside from that, it's mostly just abrasive stuff to clean up, more flap discs for pin bores, and cleaning off cutting edge surfaces. Boom, I love these little cups. They work out great. Last but not least, we're in the last cabinet here, and this is basically just going to be all your hydraulic stuff. So right off the rip here, we've got a nice little kit from Vivor's hydraulic test kit. On top of that, I do have a couple of cat test whip lines, all the cat gauges and stuff like that I kept on the K-Whopper. Kit that I got from Vivor, it does come with a boatload of test whip lines, miscellaneous metric fittings and what have you, your CompuChecks, and a boatload of gauges. Also, can't miss out the fact that the swivel tees, though, they give you a boatload. JIC, flat face, metric, they give you everything in this kit. I love this kit. All right, so keep going here. We have a small little jack right here that I use. That's a 6-ton jack right there. And you got to have the cat D-ring kit. Got a lot of flanges out there. Where would you be without the blue cap kit, boys? Everybody either loves or hates them, but I absolutely love them. Again, you're trying to keep hoses and what have you clean during the disassemble process. And for all my John Deeres, I also have a complete O-ring kit. Down to the bottom here, I've got my Carhartt rain suit. This is I've had again for about 5-6 years, and I can't kill it. It just shows up and works every day. Right behind there, before that kit falls apart, that is my complete cap and plug kit, as well as another complete O-ring kit. This is a cat O-ring kit. Boom. You got to have this, boys. Got a lot of hoses out there we replace. And last but not least on the unit here, we've got ourselves a 20-ton pneumatic jack. Again, absolutely love that unit. Picks up dozers without a damn problem. So there you guys have it. That is the tour of the 2023 F350 rapid response vehicle service truck that we are currently using. Now, we do have plans to go away from this truck. This is basically a temporary situation. Hopefully you guys found it informative. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, as usual, boys, leave it in the comments below. I'll get to them as soon as humanly possible. And as always, like, share, subscribe, P-Pump the world. I'll see you guys in the next video.